All right, so what's up, guys? So we are here again, Eli and Mike, with one of our most amazing guests, and we're honored to have you here, Albert Preciado. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. We're with the mortgage guy today.
Yeah.
The mortgage guy.
The original, the OG.
Yes.
Well, you guys look like the mortgage guys.
Thank you. Yes, today we dressed like the mortgage guys. This is our mascot. You know, he's
right.
He looks like a pretty young loan officer with you know, he wears white pants, a blue jacket, a little bit of red in there. So you know.
Well, we wanted to have you here on our show. Obviously, we've recorded, I think, this is our 9th or 10th show already.
Yes.
So it's an opportunity for us to kind of find out more about you. You know, we know you as a friend. We know you as a entrepreneur, and I know we go way back for like more than 5.5 years or so.
Yes.
And I actually posted today a video that you did a podcast with us over at the 10,000 building.
Oh yeah.
And I posted it because it reminded me of where we came from when you were asking us like, oh, these guys are making this kind of money now. And it just feels so empowering to know where we've gone with your help, with your ability that you have of attracting these people with your marketing techniques. And now we're here in this studio that you've created for your people in this company.
Yes.
And we're honestly just astonished of the things you do. You know, so we're just pretty pleased to get you here.
Yeah, well, guys, thank you. We're gonna tell all. We're gonna go deep. There's no question that I can't answer. And one of the things from me before we get started is I'm really proud of both of you.
Thank you.
You guys have grown so much in those 5.5 years, and I've grown myself too. And I think we had a conversation last time we saw each other, and I told you that the biggest difference right now in today's Albert is just the way how I see time, how I see time, and also just dealing with bullshit, dealing with nonsense, like because you value time more. There's just no time to waste in nonsense and bullshit, and we just got to be straight up, be very transparent, and a little bit of bold, a little bit of having that boldness. Because we have huge dreams for the next 3 years, for the next 5 years max, you guys know. And huge things are coming, and I'm very excited, and I just value time a lot. And you guys are definitely two people that I like to spend a lot of time with. So
thank you.
Thank you for having me here. And I'm all for you guys. So whatever I can give value to anybody that follows Eli and Mike, we have come a long way. And I don't know if you guys feel it, but just the energy in this floor. With ambiance and TMG. It just smells so good. I don't know if you guys
it actually really smells good today.
Oh my god.
Like beyond the Pollo Loco, you know, beyond the Pollo Loco.
It smells good, it feels good. You feel that energy.
It feels like $1 billion.
No, it feels like $1 billion. Today, you were telling us, you know, as you were training our companies, you were just like, my vision is $1 billion, $1 billion, $1 billion. And I literally felt that energy. Like, it was not something that you were just like, he was just making up. It was like, you know, I felt the billions, you know, I felt it on the floor. I felt it with the companies. We had Ambiance Realty, the mortgage guys, Conquer Escrow, Driven. We were all here in one building with our CEO who's training us. I mean, you know, how do you not have that vision of $1 billion? You have to move from 1 million to $1 billion at one point, and you have got there, and I see that vision. You know, we could feel it, we could smell it, like Albert said.
And you know, to add to what Mike said, we recently joined a manifestation group, and we're realizing that it's not about what the past tense or the ability to understand that you're going to be a billionaire. It's actually already being that. You already say it in a way that I'm a billionaire. I already have the money, because that creates the fact already that no matter what the future looks like, your position of being a billionaire is already happening. It's already happened. It's already past tense. Therefore you're a billionaire.
And I know that
amazing, right?
And I know that time is what changed for you, Mr. Als. You know, and you don't ever let time stop you. So I know buying your like amazing watches. Which one do you have on right now?
A Richard Mille.
Oh my God, a Richard Mille. And how much does that cost you?
Plenty. Okay,
so you're wearing this watch that cost you plenty, the Richard Mille. And, you know, just a month ago, you know, you had another one of your watches that cost plenty, literally, you know, stolen off of your wrists, you know, gunpoint. That's
insane, man. Like,
it's so insane, yet you're still here with something that's so important to you, your watch, because your watch tells you time, which is what changed you this year is time. And you're still wearing your watches that, you know, cost you plenty of money without retracting. You just keep going. So are you, even though you got robbed at gunpoint, about a month ago, you're sitting here with another one of your watches, you don't let anything stop you. So, where do you get this strength to keep going? Because you literally had a gun to your chest and they took your watch. And again, you're here today training with another watch, and you're like, and this one costs more, and I'm going to keep training and I'm going to keep going. Like, where do you get this drive?
I think everything that happens to you is a learning experience. So everything that happens, I always look at the positive, so I learn from it. And the biggest lesson that I learned, I think this was like a year ago.
Okay.
It was like a year ago. Do you guys remember? When was it? It was last year. It was last year. I think it was like a year ago.
Yes.
It was a year ago. I don't know if it was March or May or April, but it was a Wednesday, like today.
Yes.
And it was before training.
Okay.
So I had a Patek Philippe 5980, I think is a model, and I got a good deal on it. It went up in prices when prices were going up.
Yes.
Now prices of watches are going down.
Right.
So this watch at the time was about $500,000, about 400 and something thousand.
Wow.
And they stole my watch, but they didn't take the papers.
Wow.
So I still have the
Got it.
papers of the watch.
Wow.
I have everything. And before that, they stole my other Richard Mille, and they stole the watch, but they didn't take the papers either.
Interesting.
They broke into my house. So that one was a bit it was a lesson learned about how you're not safe, not even where you live, and the price you have to pay when you become known, when you become like a celebrity.
Yes.
Now you have to watch out for other things. I'm sure with Paris Hilton that you guys spend a lot of time with,
Yes.
she has to watch out for those things. She
Yeah.
can't
Absolutely.
she can't have a normal life anymore. So
Right.
that happened to me. My dad was gonna stay that night when they broke into the house and stole that was the Mexico watch. Remember that one?
Yes,
Yeah,
I remember that.
And they went in there, they stole it. They were looking for the papers, they couldn't find it, so they left the papers there.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll show the paperwork
Yes.
for the thieves.
Yes,
that way
we'll
they
be
can see it.
pulling it up.
You
Yes.
guys can put the little clip there.
Right.
But I learn every time. So this time it happened, and this is a year ago, more or
Yes,
less.
okay.
And they point a gun here, they point a gun here, and
Oh my
right after that
gosh.
happened, the only thing that I could think of was, what if I don't see my daughter that's
Wow.
about to be
Wow.
born? So this was when
Yes.
before Callie was born.
Yes. Yes.
Sil was pregnant,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, what if I never see like my daughter?
Yes.
What if my Italian Berlin don't see me again?
Right.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing I was thinking.
Yes.
So that I learned from that now I got to pay the price of that of fame,
Yeah.
Mhm.
which now I can't. Now I need security. That's why we
Yes.
moved to Bel Air.
Yes.
Gated community, security now,
Mhm,
and
mhm.
you just got to watch out.
Yes.
So now I have an undercover car that I have never disclosed. Only
mhm.
people close to me know what I have.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yes.
I drive that undercover car. I never wear any watches when I'm with my daughters.
Yes.
I just dress down.
Yes.
And I don't want to be seen.
Right. Right.
And when you finally make it in life to a certain level,
Yes.
you value exclusivity, privacy, and no one knowing where you are.
Right.
Like you
Wow.
want to have that freedom. And
Mhm.
so I kind of hide now when I'm with my family.
Yes.
Because I just want to have my privacy.
Right. Right.
But I learned from there
Mhm.
that, you know what, every growth, every moment, every growth spurt, you got to change a few things, because
Mhm.
you guys will become very known,
Thank you.
soon,
Thank you. Yes.
more known, and then you're
Mhm.
gonna have to change a few things.
Right.
You're not in
Yeah,
in the
right,
beginning. You
right.
want everybody to know where you are. You want to go
Right.
live.
Yes. Yes.
So I just never want to do anything that's gonna expose my family,
Mhm.
and also people that are close to me that are with me.
Right.
Sometimes it's good to be private, and sometimes it's not.
Mhm.
But the mindset part that you asked is,
Mhm.
after that happened,
Yes.
the only thing that was on my mind was, I gotta get my workout in,
Mhm.
non-negotiable, because I
Yes.
gotta finish it by a certain time,
Mhm.
because I know I have to be at the training.
Right.
Right.
So 5 minutes after I have a gun pointed here,
Uh-huh.
I'm working out, and I told the cops, hey, you got to take the police report at my gym.
Wow.
And they're like, what do you mean at the gym? Like, and I'm like,
Oh
we can't go to
my
the
God.
gym. Like, what gym do you go to?
Yeah.
And I told the cops, no, up in my office, the
Yes.
6th floor, we have our own gym.
Amazing.
So just come up the elevator, and
Yes.
we could finish the report there, because I got to get my workout in. And the cops thought I was crazy, and they said, yeah, because I have to be at the training. and I don't negotiate my workouts, because the workouts and the eating healthy part and all that,
Yeah.
it's the part that keeps me normal in a way.
Mm-hmm.
It keeps me
Right.
sane,
Yeah.
because I go through a lot of pressure, and the more wealthy you become, the more pressure you have. There's always
Yes.
problems never
Of course.
go away. There's
Yeah.
always
Right.
bigger and bigger problems.
Yes.
But you get better. So
Right.
in order to be able to handle that and continue to grow, I need to make sure that I take care of myself first.
Okay.
So that's why the workout is a non-negotiable.
Wow.
And what I eat is non-negotiable, and I got to do it no matter what.
Wow. So
That's
you're
powerful.
saying
Yeah.
5 minutes after you got robbed and a gun to your chest, you could have lost your life. Your kids would have never seen you. You still went 5 minutes later with your non-negotiables, and you were in the gym.
Yeah.
Wow.
I
Wow.
got to do it because I'm still alive. So
Yes.
God wanted me to stay alive, and I got to continue to push and pursue my dreams.
I think that fact itself is why you're such an ambitious, driven individual. I mean, the business you run also, it's called Driven, and you have this fearless factor about you. Like, you don't care what people say.
Correct.
You do care what the value of your family. As a matter of fact, you care so much about the culture of this business. I mean, like you said, it smells great in here. It's because the people here have this charisma, this positive energy about wanting to be around you. You know, and before I bring up the next question, like, that makes a lot of sense of who you are as a person. You create and institutionalize that factor in people like ourselves. We're very fearless as well. We're like doing these podcasts. We're doing these things with Paris Hilton. We're just doing so much now.
Yes.
Because we learn from you and realize that, hey, what are we afraid of?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, we might get robbed. That might happen, but that might happen to anybody. I mean, if you're exposing yourself to the public might like you, they might hate you. One way or the other, they're going to interact with you one way or the other, right? Social
Correct,
media makes it a
correct.
lot easier now.
Yes.
But I think that fearless factor, you're instilling it in all of us, and that's what empowers this business. Mortgage Guys, Ambiance, Driven, Escrow, the Conquer Escrow, including Eli and Mike, which is part of the
Yes.
brand that
Yeah.
we have.
Yes.
We are all empowered by the pilas, the energy box that you provide to all of us. So, I mean, I can only say that's amazing. I want to ask you, like, the culture that's here. I wanted to ask you in your past, maybe this is why you have this culture of unity, right? Everybody together, una familia, and, you know, you say these amazing chants to keep people empowered. What's your background like? Is there a reason why you like this culture that we have here? We pop champagnes, we have the pool tables, bars, so much power, gyms. I mean, it's insane. We're on Sunset Strip. What's your why on your culture? Like, how come is that a non-negotiable? Why is that instilled in here?
I always want to be the greatest. Like, when I was a little kid, you know, when I used to drive past this office, because
Wow.
my dad was a painter, and I used to go with him to paint, and we used to drive through Sunset Plaza since 6.
Amazing.
And we used to have these drives all the time. And I saw that yellow restaurant, Le Petit. It was always
Yes.
there.
Yes.
And I always drove past this Sunset. I drove past this office.
Yes.
But one thing that happened to me was my dad took me when I was very young, 6, to a mansion. And it was a mansion in Bel Air. And that's where I saw a big mansion, and I saw a red car, which was a Ferrari.
Wow.
So when I saw that, like, I told my dad, like, this is my dream. Like, Dad, why don't you have this car? Why don't we live here? Why do we live in the ghetto? And I think as a kid, you have huge dreams. And it could be anything. Like, when you're a kid, some kids want to be a police officer.
Yes.
Some kids want to be a singer. Italia, and your dreams change.
Yes.
You know, but you see movies, you see cartoons,
Right.
and you create your dream, your ideal dream.
Yes.
And that happened to me in when I was little. I told
Wow.
my dad, like, why don't we have this? And I was very curious.
And
But
how
then
old were you? How old were you?
6.
Wow.
6.
6.
So from there on, I knew that my dream was to live in Bel Air, and to drive a Ferrari. To have a Ferrari. I didn't know I was a Ferrari back then, but I wanted
Yeah.
that nice shiny red car.
Yes.
But what happens is, when you grow up, elementary school, it happened to me, you develop a lot of insecurities.
Yes.
And middle school and high school. So they used to call me wetback, go back to Mexico, you immigrants. They used to call me nasty things when I got into elementary.
Right.
And then, you know, you hit puberty, you start getting
Yes.
pimples.
Yeah.
You become very insecure. Kids make fun of you. So when I went to school, I took the school bus because my parents wanted me to be in a better environment. But it backfired, because I was getting bullied and made fun of, and they put me in a special ed class first.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And then they transferred me to ESL because they found out, wait, he's not really special ed. He's just doesn't understand English.
Right.
So they put me on the ESL class, and then
Yes.
from there on, it made me a fighter. So I got very insecure, but I had to fight because my parents were not there to protect me. So it made me a fighter, and I had to fight back. And then I had those dreams since I was a kid, so that actually turned out to be a good thing.
Wow.
Because it hurt, but it made me strong. And the worst thing you could do to a kid, which I'm working really hard with still, is to make our girls tough.
Yes.
Because when everything is given to you and you're protected, you become very entitled and you become a softie. And that's very dangerous because you're in a
Yes.
world that's dangerous. That
Very dangerous.
there's a lot of bad people in this world.
Very bad.
So that made me a fighter.
Right.
And then I'm a dreamer since I was a little kid. So what happens is most people, this is how I think. I believe that people go through elementary, middle school, and high school, and they forget about their dreams. They give up, and they quit, and they become
Yes.
very insecure, and they never bounce back. And then they become insecure for the rest of their life. And then once they get out of high school, they get fat, they give up, their confidence drops, and then they just become average.
Yes.
And for me, because I had that insecurity and I fought through it, it just made me want to get back. Like, it made me like want to have my revenge, and I wanted to be the best. I wanted to be number one. I couldn't get any girls. I couldn't get any, like, no, everybody knew me as a failure.
Yeah.
So I said, I'm going to, after high school, I'm going to get everything I'm going to fix everything that I didn't like about myself.
Amazing.
Started doing weight, started taking weight gainers, protein, creatine,
Yes.
going out in the sun, getting some color, and started fixing everything that I didn't like about myself.
Yes.
And then that's how it all changed. But I think most people, they get stuck in the insecurity, and they just get messed up in elementary, middle school, and high school, and they never
see
recover.
that.
And it's
Yeah, I see
fascinating
that.
how you say that, because that's what's happening every day, every single day of people's
Yes,
lives.
yes.
People in the streets are just stuck in that zone. They don't want to grow from it. They're just in that, oh, well, it's woe is me. This is the way I'm supposed to live my life. But the reality of it is you're supposed to face that fear and say, hey, I could be better. And you're doing
Yes.
exactly that. Like about the culture here, you're literally throwing that force in there and saying, I want the best.
Yeah.
And guess what you are doing? I mean, there's champagne in front of us. We're in the podcast center that you created. That's $250,000. So
Yes.
we're on the Sunset Strip because you are like, I'm going to give everything I got
Yeah.
to create that dream when you were a child, when you were 6 years old, from being there with your dad as a painter, looking at that Ferrari, which, by the way, you have how many now?
I love it.
Right? Yeah,
Yeah.
like he has a Ferrari collection,
Right.
obviously, if you guys don't know. But the fact is, you are not stopping, and you
Yeah.
have this vision of just, I am this billionaire.
Yeah.
I'm creating this culture that, honestly, we come into the office and everybody's running around,
Yes.
happy. People are getting
Right.
pre-approvals. People are getting homes because of how you are creating this drive.
Yeah.
The
And
culture.
The culture is insane.
Yes.
And we come in here, people are working out.
Mhm.
People are getting ready.
Right.
I mean, people are just, it's just insane. dude.
People are
And-
at the bar, they're working out, they're showering.
Mhm.
There's people in a real estate meeting, there's people in a loan meeting. We have escrow. It's so much
And
to
where,
offer.
where I came from, I don't know if you remember when we started 5 years ago, Mike interviewed you.
Yes.
You interviewed Mike.
Yeah.
He wanted to work with you. And I was in the car waiting.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I don't want to be interviewed because I was comfortable, right? Which was my issue before. I was very comfortable.
Yeah.
He was comfortable with 3 deals, you guys, and then he meets Albert, and immediately he opens like how many? 30 deals.
I don't even remember anymore.
I think
but
it was.
a lot.
I swear it was 30 deals. So it was just like you think you're good, but until you meet the right people, the right circle, be in the right culture, what you created, Albert, can change you from a number 3 to 30, literally.
Yeah.
No,
So-
it does.
And guys, you cast a vision.
Mhm.
So I've always casted a vision. I've always said what I'm gonna do before I do it.
Yes.
And I don't know if you guys, like, today's just a magical day.
Yes.
And-
It is. It
and-
really is.
And I don't know if you guys noticed,
Yes.
but
Mhm.
I've always casted a vision. One day we're not gonna fit in this entire floor.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
Yes.
nearly 20,000 square feet.
Yes.
We're not gonna fit in this, and this is the most expensive area for square footage.
Seriously.
Right.
So it's very
Right.
expensive to be here.
Yes.
And I don't know if you noticed it, but today we
Yes.
were at a point where we didn't fit almost.
It was
Yeah.
packed.
Like
Yes.
both conferences
Mhm.
rooms are being used.
Right.
We had to send people to the locker room to do other appointments.
Yeah.
It's so
Like
true.
all the offices are filled,
Right. Yes.
and the whole space we're almost completely filled.
Yes.
So I casted a vision. One day, this is gonna be completely packed, and that is today. Like
Oh
we
my
are
God,
packed.
yes, so happy.
And it's just the growth that happens, and and you
Yes.
guys know, and many of you watching this, like we are planning a big exit in the next 3 years,
Mhm.
3 to 5 years. 5 years is the most
Mhm.
I'll go, and I think you guys are on the same page. You guys also wanna
Mhm.
wanna exit in those 5 years.
Yes,
But
yes.
one of my friends, Patrick Bet-David, just sold his company for $250 million
Amazing.
in like 4 months ago, I believe,
Mhm.
and we are not far behind that. So
Yes,
so
yes.
I've never seen it as clear as it is right now,
Right.
and there's just one thing we got to do
Mm-hmm.
to continue to do that for the next 1, 2, 3 years,
Yes.
and we're gonna have a nice exit, and a lot of
I
people are
see
gonna
it.
get a big chunk of a check, and it's gonna be good, and then we're gonna put that money back into use. But people ask me like, well, billionaire, and I learned that it takes time. You got to do things right. And what happens if we sell for $1 billion? Then we're all gonna get a lot of millions,
Mhm.
some more,
Yes.
some less.
Yes.
But then what happens when you get that? Because Bobby didn't become a billionaire when he sold. He sold
Right.
for $1 billion. He got his piece,
Yes.
which was like a couple hundred million,
Mhm.
and then he put those couple hundred million to work.
Wow.
Right.
So when we exit, we're gonna have millions and millions of dollars. Maybe we exit for way more,
Yes.
hopefully. But I know that for a fact. If we just continue to do what we're doing, in 3 years we'll get a big check. But then we're gonna put those millions to use.
Right.
We're gonna
Put it
start
to
new
work.
ventures, and then that'll get
Yes.
us to $1 billion.
Yes.
Then we're gonna get to multiple billions,
Mhm.
and then we might become the next trillionaires.
Yes.
So
I
who-
agree.
so who
man.
knows?
And you know what?
Yes.
What's really interesting is a lot of people who might know Albert or might not know him don't really realize how humble he is. Like this
Right.
company has grown a lot, and I know there's something I'm going to bring up about who you are as a person, at least of what I know. But this business here that we have, we are very humble. We have this culture of connecting, helping
Mhm.
people become homeowners
Mhm.
and getting these
Yes.
mortgages and stuff. And on
Yes.
top of that, we have all these different things where we're doing mentorships and stuff. But I think a lot of people that might know you might see you as not just fearless, but also some of your social media sounds a little ruthless, right? And I think it's a marketing strategy. At least that's what I know. I believe you. You're humble to me. We understand you from the
Yes.
inside.
Mhm.
So I want the outsiders or people that might be in our circle to see, all right, what's the purpose? What's the goal that you have? And being this, si se puede guy. Like, this is what needs to happen. I
Yeah.
don't care what people got to say. I'm going to leave my mark for people to remember me. Because inside, you're like a warm little piece of bread. You just want to put some
Yeah.
butter and that's it. But that's how we know you,
Wow.
right? That's how we know
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
But the
Mhm.
outside sees you as a rock.
Yeah.
And if he throws a rock at me, I'm going to get
Mhm.
hurt, right? Because
Yes.
you're very loud and spoken, right? But inside, like I said, we see you like a piece of bread with butter.
Yeah.
So I want people to hear, like, what's your perspective? What is the purpose as to why you have that kind of ignition?
Well, just really quick, something to complete for culture. Culture is really important because culture is gonna filter your environment.
Yes.
So when you have a strong culture,
Mhm.
people that are not meant to be in your company,
Right.
toxic people,
Right.
negative people,
Yes.
gossipers, things like that,
Right.
it's gonna weed them out.
Oh,
course.
People that are
definitely.
not all in, they're not gonna
Yes.
be able to handle it.
Right.
And people sometimes say, "Oh, Albert's a cult. He created a cult."
Right.
Cult's short for culture, and I'm very proud of that. So
This is
to-
the best culture ever.
to those people
How
is,
do you-
is thank you, because yes, we
Yes,
are a
thank
cult,
you.
and
Thank
we,
you so
we love our
much.
cult.
Yes,
God.
we love our cult.
And if you notice,
Sure.
a lot of the people that didn't belong here have fallen
Yes.
out
Oh
because
my
of
God,
our
yes.
culture that's strong.
Right.
Right.
And when you notice is the energy feels so good right now. You guys see
Yes.
everybody here has everybody's back.
Like
Right.
it feels so amazing to
And,
be
and
here.
people are protecting their
Yes.
culture.
Yes.
So
yes.
so like culture is very
Yes.
important for any business.
Right.
Chicago Bulls, the Lakers.
Yes.
What happened with Kobe and Jordan? They had strong culture, and
Right.
Jordan was hard on his teammates.
Yes.
Kobe was hard on his teammates.
Mhm.
He didn't even look at some of them, and he
Uh-huh.
bullied them. He kicked them out, and he
Yes.
just because he wanted the best from them.
Yes.
And the same thing with companies. Look
Mhm.
at Rocket Mortgage and UWM. They have strong culture. Keller Williams Remax.
Yes.
They have culture.
Correct.
Right.
They have their core values. So that's
Yes.
very important for any business if you want to
course.
grow it. It weeds out the weaklings.
Yes.
And you got to do that. And now leadership
Mhm.
is the next thing.
Right.
Like you guys as leaders, me as a leader, our job is to always be strong,
Mhm.
be a leader, lead by example, and even in moments that might be we might be going through a lot of pressure.
Yes.
We can't show that.
Right.
Because Jordan and Kobe didn't
Yeah.
show pressure. They
Right.
didn't react to the pressure.
Exactly.
And the way you do it as a leader, it's
Mhm.
gonna flow that energy to the people under you.
Love
So
that.
my main job is to be
Yes.
fearless no matter what. Even
Yes.
if we have 1% chance
Mhm.
of winning,
Right.
I'm gonna go there thinking that I have 99% chance of winning and we're gonna win.
Wow.
Yes.
And that happens. And that's why as a leader,
Right.
even if you're going through hard times, you never show it.
So
And
good.
and you
So good.
were coached by Kobe Bryant's coach, Mr.
Tim Grover, yeah.
Tim
He's one of my
Grover,
friends.
and him being your friend, your mentor, your coach, he told you something that stuck with me, and ever since then, you taught me this, which you were taught by Tim Grover, is that you hurt your arm a couple, maybe about a year back, and maybe you
Yeah.
could tell us what Tim Grover told you to do. Because most people,
Yeah.
they will retract, like I was saying earlier, that it was raining the other day, and like your wife Sil was saying, only like 5 people showed up because of the rain. People retract when it's hard times or when you're
Yeah.
hurt or you
Very
can
true.
get hurt. But again, Albert, you messed up your arm, and Kobe Bryant's coach, Tim Grover, what did he tell you?
Yeah, remind me what you asked me, because there was another thing that you asked me before
Okay.
this, but I'll answer this really quick. So
Okay,
so
okay,
Tim
okay.
Grover is one thing is that I invest a lot in mentorship. So the reason why I'm so clear, like 100% on a big exit we're about to have, is because I'm following the blueprint from
Yes.
somebody that sold a company for $1 billion,
Amazing.
and I have we have the blueprint.
Love it.
So I know exactly what I'm doing.
Yes.
And nobody, like, selling a company for a lot of money, $1 billion, is not something that is for everybody.
right.
Of course.
Like, it's not something that's
Yeah.
basic and simple.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna have complications, but it's gonna work.
Right.
Mhm.
So you gotta understand that. But I've hired the best mentors. I've spent over $5 million in mentorships.
Oh my gosh.
Because it just put it this way: every driven event, especially the latest ones,
Yes.
have costed a lot of money to put
Yes.
together.
Oh
Yeah.
my God.
$1
yes.
million each driven.
Mhm.
Yes.
And the first one costed 300,000.
Mm-hmm.
So all the money that I spend, when I pay a speaker, hey, I'm gonna pay you 50 grand, 100 grand, 200 grand to come speak.
Yes.
I include in the contract, I'm gonna get a mentorship one-on-one.
Amazing.
I'm gonna get a podcast. I'll fly in person because I want to have that more connection.
Makes sense.
Like, all of these people, I have their phone numbers. They become friends. I'm really, really good at making them my friends.
Yeah.
So combined,
Yes.
I've spent over $5 million in mentorships, one-on-ones. So I've been mentored by Tim Grover, by Ty Lopez, by Grant Cardone, by Patrick
Wow,
Bet-David.
so good.
Last year, I wanted to get better in leadership.
Yes.
And some of the things that I say, people don't agree with,
Right.
but they don't know leadership.
Mhm.
I know leadership because I learned it from John Maxwell, the best leadership coach in the world.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
If you think leadership, you think John Maxwell. There's
Right.
nobody better
We
than
were
him.
there for the podcast.
Right.
Yeah, you were there for
Yes.
the podcast. And we flew what? Private, right?
Private.
Yeah. So
and when we get there, you have like 3 black SUVs pick us up.
Yeah.
It was like a movie.
yeah.
It was so insane.
so last year, I know I need to get better in leadership.
Yes.
So I hired John Maxwell to teach me
Mhm.
leadership.
Right.
So all of this stuff that I do, it's an investment of $5 million that I've spent for this. That is why my mindset
Makes so much sense.
is stronger. That's why that's why I have weird ideas.
Mhm.
That's why I'm so confident, because I've
Yes.
invested a lot into these people.
Yes.
Right.
And John Maxwell, I picked his brain
Right.
forever, and
Right.
he told me what to do. And all of the combination is what I like to give to our people.
Yes.
And that's how we
Mhm.
grow from there. But it's
Right.
investing in yourself. The best investment you'll ever make is investing in yourself.
Love it, love it. And I'll remind you of that question too. So Tim Grover, you hurt your arm, and basically he told you, well, then go work out the other arm.
Yeah.
So he wasn't a softie on you like
Yeah.
most people are. Most people
Right.
will be soft. Most people will hurt themselves, just like Conor McGregor, he broke his leg in that one of his last fights.
right.
And I actually was at the Beverly Hills Hotel probably 3 days after he
Yeah.
broke his leg.
In a wheelchair.
And he was in a wheelchair, but he was at the Beverly Hills Hotel working out.
Uh-huh.
He was actually at the Beverly Hills Hotel purposely so he could work out.
That's right.
So even though his leg was broken, Conor McGregor, he was already at the gym the next day.
Mhm.
And then it reminded me of you, Albert, because you had hurt your arm so bad. And then Kobe Bryant's coach is like,
Yeah.
well, go work out the
Yeah.
other arm. And then
Yeah.
you're over there in the gym getting like a huge bicep. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
Like most people will not, they'll be, what is the
Mhm.
word?
Give up.
they give up.
Yeah.
Like, you know.
Yeah, but Tim Grover, like I hired the best, right? So
Yes.
Tim Grover is that's what he focuses on: training, conditioning,
Yes.
exercise, mindset. So I asked him, I can't move my left side, so
Yeah.
he said, well, work out your right side, because you still get benefit to all your body by working
Yes.
out one side, but people don't know that. See,
Wow.
he studied. He's a major in what did you call it? Kinesiology.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
That's the word for the
Yes.
physical therapist at
Yes,
the next
yes.
level.
Okay.
So,
Got it.
so kinesiology. So
Okay.
kinesiology.
Yes,
So
yes.
he told me if you work out one side, it'll still benefit all your body, your entire
Wow.
body. So,
Wow.
that's what I did.
Amazing.
But mindset wise, it was
Yes.
still giving me that when you work out, it kind of cleanses you and it resets you.
Yeah.
And that's what it does to me. It's like my therapy.
Yes.
Makes
So
sense.
I still was able to work out one side, but if it weren't for Tim Grover, I would have just maybe not worked out till I got better. But because
Right.
he said that and he
Right.
told me, and he's an
Yes.
expert,
Mhm.
then I started working out just one side, and it helped. And
Yes.
for example, today,
Yes.
like I got a bad cold,
Right.
so like you know when the first 24 to 36 hours,
Yes.
you feel all congested
Oh,
and
it's
you
the
feel
worst.
hot and
So
you
the
just
worst.
can't focus.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like I'm the type that I never stop what I'm doing, and I always
Yes.
get through it faster, because when
Right.
I get sick, I'll still drink Vuclicot.
Yeah.
I'll still work out. I'll
Yeah.
still come to the training,
Mhm.
and it works.
Right.
And I've never
Right.
killed anybody
Mhm.
because I got them a cold.
Right.
Right.
Like
Right.
a lot of people have
Yeah.
colds,
Mhm, mhm.
and I'm not the type that promotes if you have a cold, stay home.
Right.
If you have a cold, just go sweat it out. You
Mhm.
never know.
Mhm.
Like that's the fastest way for me to get rid of a cold.
Right.
Yes.
Just fight it out. If
Right.
you're just there playing the
Mhm.
victim and waiting until it gets better,
Yes.
it's gonna take longer.
Right. Makes
And
sense.
and as long as you're respectful,
Mhm.
you wash your hands, you keep your
Mhm.
distance. I tell people all the time, hey, you know what? I have a cold. I'm just
Right.
gonna keep my distance.
Yes.
If that's okay with you.
Right.
If you don't
Simple.
mind, then I'm a hugger. Hug me. And then people tell me, I want to get
Yeah.
sick. I'll get sick for you. Let me give you a hug. I don't care about the cold.
For reals,
So
for
people
reals.
people make it
Yeah.
more than what it is. They
Yeah.
people just
Yeah,
people
I
are
gave
just
you a hug
wimpy.
today.
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, I need a hug.
So it's all about
You
like
know?
the mindset.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
gotta
Definitely.
be strong.
Definitely.
Can't be a little
exactly.
bitch.
Yes. Yeah. You
And,
can.
you know, that reminds me of the question I was
Yeah, I
going to
remember
ask you
also.
about the
There's
question
so many
about how to-
questions. There's so many questions.
Right. So remind me of the question
About
of
the social
asking you
media
about,
stuff.
Yeah, about
Yeah.
the social media. So that fearlessness. So going back to that, what is it that ignites you? Why is that passion there? Because obviously there's going to be people that are going to hate. You know, you bring up the voice, oh, haters and this and that. But we understand it. But I would love to our viewers to hear,
Yes.
what is your purpose? Why is it that something like that is outspoken from you?
And I don't do that a lot anymore.
Yes.
Like talk
No,
about
you
the
have.
haters.
You've minimized it a lot,
Because
actually.
I don't like to give them flow them any power.
Right.
Every now and then,
Mhm.
like when I see somebody that's trying to compete with me,
Right.
Mhm.
and they're trying to contradict me or say a message, I feel like I
Yes.
got to put them in their place.
Right.
But I don't do it that often because I don't want to give energy to that.
Yes.
But when I go on social media,
Mhm.
see, social media is to get attention. You
Right.
you want to use
That's right.
and abuse social media. You don't want to let social media use and abuse you. So 99% of the people, they go on social media to look at other people's content. I don't
Right.
get on social media to look at other people's content. I get on social media to make a post,
Yes.
get people to react from me, and let people argue about me.
Wow.
Let people follow me, unfollow me, talk shit. It's doing its job.
Yes.
Mhm.
I'm using social media to get more attention, and I always end up getting more followers than the followers I lose. And the people that I lose, I don't care because they're not going to buy from me anyways.
Right.
Social media is for me to promote myself,
Yes.
and that's what I do. And people are arguing with each other. And if you notice, when people argue or they'll talk, they'll talk smack about me, I don't
Right.
even answer their comments.
Right.
It doesn't affect me another way. I'm
Yes.
still getting paid.
Yes.
And like sometimes John will tell me, like he'll
Mhm.
send me a message in the morning, first thing, and it became a daily thing. He was like, Albert, check out my
Yeah.
post. Check
Yeah.
out. Did you see my post?
Yeah.
And I'm like, buddy, I don't see your post because I don't. I'm barely on social media. And
Right.
people are like, wait,
Right.
no, you're not. What?
Yeah.
I'm on social media, spitting out
Yes.
things so that
Yes.
people react to me,
Right.
and I grow my reach.
Yes.
And the content that you
Mhm,
post,
mhm.
the reels, they need to be a bit polarizing
Yes.
to get attention and go viral.
Right.
So you always have to have a title that's going to get attention and
Right.
get people to react. You need to make your videos, under 60 seconds so that
Yes.
because people's attention span is not here anymore. You got to make sure that those videos have the first 3 seconds. You have to hook them.
Yes.
Right.
So you have to say something like, sometimes when I say things and people are like, "Oh my God, he's wait,
They'll watch the whole
it's
thing.
doing
Yeah.
it's doing its job."
Yeah.
That's why you guys are reacting.
Yes.
It has to be funny. You need personality, and you have to give information, but not too much information. Because if you give all the information,
Yes.
then they're not gonna contact you. They're
Wow.
not gonna
Yeah.
react to you. So you always
Very
gotta
true.
keep people guessing,
Yes.
and you always gotta keep entertaining them. That's why I like to do 5 stories a day at least, because stories are easy. You're just documenting your day.
Yes.
Like you'll do a story right now, like, "Hey, I'm
Yes.
here with look, this is gonna be a cool story." I'll post it
Right.
after.
Yeah.
So I'll be like, doing a live here with Eli and Mike.
Hey,
Yo,
let's
what's
go.
up?
What's up, guys?
Let's
Hey,
go.
just here. This is gonna be the best one, by the way.
Yeah,
be
it's
the
the
best
best
one.
podcast ever.
There you go.
Let's
That's the
go,
story.
Let's go.
So you are gonna
Yes.
post it, and you're gonna keep people entertained. People want to get
Yes.
entertained.
Right.
And then you
Right.
post a story. I was at training. Oh,
Mhm.
now I'm having a relationship improvement date. Oh, now I'm
Yes.
getting a massage. Oh, now I
Yes.
just closed a deal for $1 million.
Yeah.
So that's stories. You do them every day, just 5 a day,
Right.
minimum, because you
Right.
keep people entertained.
Yes.
And then when you post content,
Mhm.
you want to post something where you're gonna almost make people hate you,
Right.
but you're getting them to react.
Yes.
You show off your Ferrari,
Mhm.
people are gonna hate you. They're gonna be like,
Right.
"Fuck, man,
Right,
this
right.
fucking show off arrogant."
Yeah.
But
yeah.
it's gonna get their attention.
Exactly.
You're gonna put something that's gonna be maybe controversial.
Yes.
You're gonna get their attention.
Yes.
Then
Right.
you post, "Oh, by the way, I'm Eli and Mike. I do real estate and mortgages." Oh, okay, cool. So now they know what you do.
Mhm.
Right.
But if you just post real estate and mortgage all day long, every month, people are gonna be bored about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then you post something funny. Then you post something
Mhm.
personal. Then you
Right.
post a success story.
Yes.
Something that like you gotta change it up
Yeah.
so that you keep people. And then my favorite one is when I piss people off,
Yeah.
I come back with my next post
Mhm.
and I'll post, "By the way, you guys don't know this about me, but look, I'm a great father. I'm a great
Mhm.
husband.
Right.
I took my daughters to Disneyland and I
Yes.
did this. Oh, by
Yes.
the way, here's my dad.
Mhm.
Here's my mom.
Right.
Happy birthday, Dad." And so social media, you really are using a lot of emotion
Right.
Yes.
to get people to react to you.
Yes.
And that's all it is.
Yes.
But you want to make sure that you use and abuse social media,
Mhm.
and you don't let social media use and abuse you and take over your life.
So smart
Wow.
because
Wow.
me and Mike, we on our last podcast we had one of our friends here, and he brought up 2 main concepts from 2 huge influencers. Paris Hilton's main marketing technique was branding, and Kim Kardashian's was actually marketing.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
you're actually doing both. You're doing marketing, which is utilizing social media, and you're also using your branding, which
Cool.
is all your businesses, and you're using both avenues
Yes.
to build your platform, your success.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. Like, I think what you're doing to the public eye is actually expanding the business. Like, that's why when we walk outside and see everybody working, they're like, wow, like we have a CEO that actually is pushing us through all this BS recession, because we bring up the what's the whole recession to us?
Right.
It's just mindset. People's
Yeah.
mindset is in recession.
Mhm.
There is no such thing as recession if your mindset is strong enough to surpass all the talk that's going out behind the scenes. I think that 99% that we're that 1%, they're saying it's a recession, it's time to call it a day.
Yeah.
I'm only going to work from 9 to 6. Those are those people, whereas we're like, we have 24 hours in the day.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We can do so much more, and you're doing that vision, and that's what's amazing.
And guys, we have something very special here, because remember that you're like the 5 people you spend the most time with.
Correct.
And certain people that are not part of our lives anymore,
Yes.
that used to
Mhm.
be,
Yes.
now they are the smartest people
Wow.
in their circle.
Wow.
So now they're just sinking and getting stupider.
Wow.
So like
So
and
sad.
us,
So sad.
we keep growing because
Yes.
our circle keeps growing.
Yes.
How many of those people that are not
Mhm.
part of our lives anymore
Right.
would want to pick our brain or ask us,
Right.
"Hey Albert, what would you do in this situation?"
Mhm.
No,
Yes.
now they can't.
Yes.
And
Exactly.
and when you burn a bridge, and that's one of the worst things you could do in business.
Mhm. Right.
So it's
right.
very important. There's a reason
Yes.
why I've created some of the most powerful relationships.
Right.
Like,
Mhm.
you guys have seen my phone book.
Yes. Yes. You pulled it
And,
up
and when
yesterday.
and when you need
It was
to,
crazy.
you can make some phone calls and get
Right.
10 million bucks
Yes.
or more.
Right. Yes.
They can't.
Right. And the haters, what's really crazy, it's why would we be focused on haters who, there's 2 haters in 1 month, yet we're over here building a crazy empire
Yeah.
of, in 1 month, 25 new agents, 25 new lenders, and it's so funny how these haters think that we'd be focusing on one or two individuals with the most worst energy in the world when we're creating and helping and building, 25 plus agents a month, 25 plus lenders a month. It just feels, like you said, it feels so good and it smells so good, because it's there, it's in front of your face, you get to be around it. But then when you're those people who leave, you start finding them, calling your phone or texting you, like you said, these little questions that, you can't get these answers anymore because you're not a part of that circle anymore. You can only give your energy to so many people. Like Albert said, you can truly only have a really strong circle of around 5 people, and that's who you're going to be. Again, if you are not a part of our company, then it's hard for us to give you that information that you're looking for anymore.
I remember that you're always going to be the creator or the reactor.
Yes.
Like you know a few people that are always reacting to me.
Yeah.
Always haters, people that are not part of our lives anymore.
Yes.
They are so disgusted with themselves because they're not part of us anymore.
Right.
And they're always reacting to me. So tell me, am I doing my job or not? I'm getting them to react.
Yes.
I'm not even thinking about them. Like I'm thinking about Remax. I'm thinking about Keller Williams, Rocket Mortgage, and UWM.
Right.
I'm thinking about private jets, the best champagne, the best parties, tomorrow's top producers, top performers. I'm thinking about Bel Air. I'm thinking about couples massage, my daughters. I'm thinking about Oscar de la Hoya, John Maxwell, Bobby Castro. Like I don't even know them anymore. Like I'm not even thinking about them. But isn't it so crazy how much I impact their lives? That they're obsessed with me and I don't even know who they are anymore.
Yes. And
Like
they're
that.
not even in the business anymore, and
Yeah.
they're still obsessing. So it is really crazy that people could obsess, and
But
you're
that
not
shows
even
you
in
how
your life anymore.
powerful.
Right.
People
We are.
People are very
Yes.
dissatisfied. Like I remember before I started here, I worked at least 7 different lenders before I joined the mortgage guys, and I was never satisfied. I was very comfortable, and I think that's the issue with these people, these haters or people that leave, that burn their bridges. They become kind of those people that are not just obsolete, but I think they become those people that envision you as like, damn, like why did I leave? I'm not happy. I should have stayed. And I already feel those energies. Some people that are in our not in our circle anymore, but people that used to communicate with us would be like, oh, you can just feel the energy that there was a mistake made.
Yeah.
But it's too late. There's no way to come back to this circle when you've already broken your channels to come here.
And
Because
I think
like
that's
you
the
said-
key word. It's too late. Because you know what? Some companies, they will let you back in. But I know you, Mr. Albert, you kind of have like a way for your company. How does it work? If somebody leaves, it's basically that's it,
Yeah, well, I'll say it on social media to get attention. I'll be like, if you leave once, you can't come back.
Right.
However, like there's been people that have came under certain little, what would I call it? Exceptions.
Right.
Because, for example, there's a person that left, and another person was under them.
Yes.
But it was a lot of lies, and they misled the person that was under, and then so that person left. And then that person, the person that left, I allowed that person to come back, did the same thing, the same thing.
Yes.
So that's why, like when you steal,
Yes.
when you lie, like when you're cheating, like some people are gonna correct themselves, but most people won't.
Right.
They're gonna keep doing it over and over and over again.
Yes.
So like I just don't have time for that, and I don't want to gamble like that anymore.
Right.
But under some circumstances, for example, this person left again.
Yes.
I mean, it didn't work out.
Right.
But the person under this person that left,
Yes.
I snatched back.
Right.
So this person was part of the company but came back.
Right.
But it was an exception because this person had no clue what was going on.
Right.
And then when I talked to this person,
Yes.
she was a wonderful, beautiful woman.
Right.
So talented.
Yes.
And this person actually also got what do you call that word? She got she didn't I don't want to say any better words here, but this person got affected
Yes.
by the bad person that is not part of the company anymore.
Right.
And this person we allowed back, and now she's one of our top performers.
Yes,
She's going to be a
yes.
future owner for sure.
Most definitely.
And she's a big leader in the
Yes,
company.
yes.
And she's killing it in Southern California.
Yes.
So under some situations, it could have worked. I'm not
Yeah.
saying that 100%, and that's it.
Yes.
But there's gonna be that 1%,
Right.
maybe that 2%
Right.
that could come back.
Yes.
Right.
But every time I've broken that principle, for the
Right.
most times, for
Yes.
the most part, it has
Mhm.
came back and haunted me. So that's why
Right.
I highly believe in that. And when you
Yes.
create a business, you want to have your principles, your business principles,
Right.
Mhm.
which are just rules.
Mhm.
Just rules. Like this is a basic rule, and it makes your life so much easy
Yeah.
because now you know your core values are this, your principles are this, this is what you believe in, and this is what you're going to follow. And it makes your decision making quick
Yes.
like that.
You know what's really bothers my mind is you give a lot. Like we're owners, co-owners of
Yes.
this company,
Mhm.
and we understand what you're doing, right? We get it. A lot of people are giving. So there's people you given ownership to.
Yeah.
There's people that you're intending to give it to. There's people that know that that's attainable, and the people that leave, they give up those rights. They give up the fact that darn, like we're actually going to have an opportunity to get millions of these $1 billion that we're evaluating the company for
Yeah.
in the near future, and they're giving it all up for a chance to go somewhere else, to hope that somebody is going to help them differently. When the fact is, you do have a Rolodex of amazing influencers that you get your data from that tell you, hey, like plug this in to help grow your business, and you people just can't seem to
Right.
capture that and realize,
Right.
like, wow, like you have an opportunity to work on Sunset, to have Ferraris, which is
Mhm.
crazy. I mean, we have
Mhm.
one on our own because we're learning from your
Yes.
marketing
Yeah.
strategy.
Influence.
I mean, it's that influence. We don't have it
Yes.
to show it off.
Right.
We have it for marketing.
Yeah.
And
Yes,
it's
for
effective. It's been
business.
very effective.
Yes.
And that's the value of what you're doing with your relationships. And it's insane that people will just step on people
Yeah.
that show them, hey, I'm going to show you the way, kind of like a yellow brick road of business. Here you go. Go follow, go to the freaking green castle. But they're like, no, I'd rather crush it and try it somewhere else and see what happens and
Yeah.
roll the dice. And then at the end, they regret it.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So what happens is people become they become jealous.
Yes.
Then that leads to envy.
Mhm.
Then that leads to hate,
Right.
and then that leads to becoming fanatics.
Wow.
And then there are those people that are what I call I used to people.
Yes.
Then they'll be like, I
Yes.
used to know Eli and Mike and Albert.
Right.
I used to be on the private jet with them. I
Yes.
used to go to the Virgin Islands
Yes.
private with them.
Yes.
But I used to. I
Right.
used to. And
Right.
these people
Right.
are, I mean, just common sense. They
Yes.
have no chance to compete
Right.
against
Oh,
me
yes.
and us.
Right.
Against our
Right.
tribe.
Yes.
No chance of
Right,
competing.
right,
Like
right.
zero chance.
Yes.
And then
Yes.
I made the mistakes already and I
Mhm,
learned.
mhm.
And that's why, because of the mentorships,
Yes.
another powerful lady, Cindy Eckert, sold a company
Right.
for $1 billion.
Yes.
right.
She told me that
Love
she
her.
didn't have to, but she decided that she was only going to keep 70% of the company and give
Mhm.
away 30% to
Mhm.
everybody that's part of her company.
Amazing.
Every big company that has exited, they didn't have to, but they gave equity to
Mhm.
other
Wow.
people so that everybody can win.
Wow.
Some people got more and some people got less,
Mhm.
but even the lowest paid employee got
Mhm.
a little bit,
Right.
Right.
even if
Right.
it's a little tiny
Yes,
piece.
exactly.
But these are all things that I learned, you know, that
Yes.
I've invested a lot of money. So why would they go and compete or try to
Right.
compete, or because they got
Yes.
jealous or for whatever reason?
Yes.
And a lot of the times,
Mhm.
wives or girlfriends or boyfriends or husbands
Mhm.
destroy a talented individual.
I agree.
And it's
It's
very
so true.
important to have the right significant other.
Yes.
So
I agree.
and you go through ups and downs.
Mhm, of
But like
course,
me and
of
Sil,
course.
like we never argue anymore.
Yeah.
Like we don't
Yeah.
even have to, it's weird.
I
Like we
love
don't
that.
like the last 12 months, 24
Yes.
months,
Right.
it has slowed down. Like we don't
Yes.
even we don't argue at all.
Right.
It's
right.
weird.
Yeah.
It's weird.
That's really
It's
powerful.
true. I
to
haven't seen you guys in
I have
so
to
long.
poke at her sometimes,
Yeah.
but we don't, because
Right.
we're on the same page, and we've never
Yes.
seen it so clear that in 3 years,
Right.
we're gonna exit for a big amount, $1 billion.
Amazing.
So, going back to these people,
Yes.
I made the mistakes already of
Yes.
trying 100% commissions, flat fees,
Right.
highest fee, and you know what happens? Some of these people, like I'll give you an example. One person, we collected a bunch of flat fees because this was in the beginning part when we
Mhm.
were when I tried that and I had no
Right.
clue what I was doing.
Right.
And from this person, I
Yes.
made nothing.
Right.
Mm.
If you
Right.
add it, because
Yes.
then I got into trouble.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna get into details, but I
Right.
got into trouble,
Yes.
which costed me over 100 grand
Right.
in other fees that I had to pay
Yes.
because this person did unethical things.
Yes.
And guess who's in charge of that? The
Right.
broker, me.
Exactly.
Of
So then
course.
they go after
Exactly.
me.
Right.
Now it costed me more money
Yes.
to have them. And these
Yes.
people were so high maintenance. They were always interrupting the meetings, the
Yes.
trainings.
Yes.
They were just toxic, negative people.
Right.
Wow.
And I think
Right.
you guys know who I'm
Oh,
talking
I know
about.
who you're talking about.
And then
yes.
these people are now old,
Right.
in their 60s,
Yes.
and still paycheck to paycheck
Yes.
doing loans.
Right. If
And-
they even get
And-
paycheck to paycheck.
And they went from 20
unfortunately,
fundings
you know.
to 2 fundings
Yes.
a month
Exactly.
right now. So
Exactly.
tell me one thing. They went and got a flat fee somewhere else. When you're collecting flat fees in a business, you need money to grow a business.
Absolutely.
You
Yes.
can't grow a
Yeah.
company being a 99-cent store.
Right.
And if
Right.
you want to be the 99-cent
Yes.
store, mom and pop
Yes.
shop,
Mhm.
good.
Right. Yes.
You're gonna be doing that till you're old.
Right.
You're never gonna build enterprise value that Bobby
Yes.
talks a lot about.
Yep.
Right.
When you think about Ferrari, when you think about Rocket Mortgage, when you think about Keller Williams,
Yes.
they don't have 100% commission. They don't
Nope.
have that. They pay good, but they're not the highest. They don't have the highest splits.
Right.
They need to make money to grow the company. But guess
Yes.
what? When they sold or when they sell or when they go public,
Yes.
everybody gets a big piece because the company is worth a lot.
Right.
Now, these people that we talked about, or people watching this that are
Yes.
that are
'Cause
not
we
in
know
our
you're
circle,
here, you know?
you're thinking
Yeah.
about starting a company.
Yes.
Get a mentor and do it the right way from the beginning, because that's one of the things that actually affected me and that I learned from, and that's one of the things that I like to teach with Driven and all that.
Yes.
People that like the millions of dollars of mistakes that I've made. Don't make those mistakes.
Right.
Make
Right.
the little mistakes, but don't make the $1 million mistakes that could put you out of business. Because
Yes.
I want you to learn from my experience, because I
Right.
went through all that.
Yes.
And like I said, we have the blueprint right now. We have the infrastructure. These people, what's 100% of nothing?
Right.
What's
So
100% of a company
Right.
that's not even that's negative?
Yes.
It's not even worth 100,000.
Right.
Like, what's the whole
Right.
point?
Yes.
And I agree with you. Like, remember how even people months ago were complaining about
AC, please.
they were complaining about, I want the perfect CRM, the perfect system.
Yeah.
Or like, a perfect system for what? Like, you don't even have one deal to close.
Right.
Like, so it's kind of interesting, like you said, like everybody wants so much more, but they forget the value, like what you said,
Yeah.
Patrick, what David said, the value. There is so much value here, and that's what's important. Like, people don't see that. They're like, oh, well, there's a lot of value, but I need more money. Well, that's the problem, because they're not seeing it from our scope or perspective, the input, the value of what you're providing from this location, the influence, the marketing, the connections. Or
Yeah.
I mean, me and Mike have built so many connections through your connections
Yes.
that now we
Yes.
have connections aside from those connections because of the value.
Like, guys, for
Yes.
God's sakes,
Yes.
they want to have 100% commission or a
Yes.
higher split,
Yes.
but then they want to work from home,
Right.
or they want to work at a WeWork.
Yes.
Have no office, no
Yes.
trainings, and
Right.
then they want
No
to listen
culture.
to avatars and watch
Yes.
videos.
Right. And I
Right.
think, our company, if you're watching, the reason why we are successful, even our top producer right now has 13 open escrow. Shout out to John. That's 13 buyers that we are helping. And, the reason why we are winning, again, like you said, Albert, we are not a discount shop. We are
Yeah.
here. And the reason why we have to charge our lenders and realtors and escrow, fees is because we're going to give you the best that there is available out there. If you're
Yeah.
a buyer, a seller, or investor, we are going to be there, and we're going to give you that diamond service that you deserve. But diamond service is not free. And
It's not.
if you're going to have diamond service, that means you're going to be on the floor. You're going to be there in person. You're going to be suited up. You're not working at a place where you go in and there's nobody to talk to. There's nobody to learn from. There's no new advanced systems going on. Here in this industry that we're working, we need to have that every single day. And, we get that from you, Albert, which is so amazing. And you go to these other discount shops and they don't have these tools for you. And because they don't have these tools for you, then you're not able to help the people you're trying to help, like your sellers, your buyers, your investors, and yourself as well. Because how are you ever supposed to grow if you're always going to discount yourself? Me and Eli don't discount ourselves because we learned that from you.
Right.
And ever since then, we have been upgrading. We have been able to get new suits. We have been able to get Ferraris and Teslas and go from coins to cars, because before we met you, Albert, we were collecting coins. And then we met you, and now we have cars, we have Ferraris, we have suits. But it's all because of the hard work we put in, because we don't discount ourselves and we don't discount our companies.
And that makes sense,
you know,
too, because think about the fact of service, right? would you rather pay for a Motel 6 to stay there and expect
Right.
service?
Right.
Or would you stay at the Beverly Hills Hotel and get service? Well, I'd rather pay a little bit more money
Yeah.
for the service,
Yeah.
for the pleasure, for the
Right.
ambiance, versus staying at Motel 6
Yeah.
and the service is a cockroach.
And sometimes you
know-
have to also start like, at the bottom at the Motel 6, but you grow, you keep going, you grow with the people you're around if they're good people, and then you eventually end up at that Beverly Hills. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with starting broke. but
Right,
There's
exactly.
a lot of
Exactly.
wrong with staying broke.
Exactly.
And then also now, I'm sure you guys have
Yes.
noticed every Wednesday
Yes.
and Mondays,
Yes.
we have like 7 interviews of new agents that are joining.
Yes.
So now more than ever,
Mhm.
now people are realizing, shit, you know what? The
Right.
downline is not existent anymore because nobody's
Right.
producing. So you gotta have people
Exactly.
produce
Yeah.
to get a downline.
Correct.
Yes.
And now, man, now we don't have any
Mhm.
training. Like I don't
Right.
want to listen to an avatar. I don't want to listen
Right.
to all this virtual thing. I need somebody. I need a mentor that's
Yes.
real that I
Human
can go there and
interaction.
shake his hand.
Yes.
So now a lot of people are coming in. You had a
Mhm.
mastermind at your office
Yes.
in Rancho.
Yes.
And look at how many people we had that
That's
are tired of
amazing.
their company and they're
Yeah.
joining our company because
Right.
they need the leadership.
That's right.
So now
Yes.
more than ever,
Right.
this is a perfect time right now because
Mhm.
the recession, the down market, or
Right.
whatever everybody that's watching this wants
Yeah.
to call it, it made it a lot difficult for a lot of people.
It did.
So now people are
did.
like, you know what? Now it's time to join them.
Yes.
And all our people that were wannabe competitors are
Right.
dead.
Yeah.
So
Literally.
now there might be a little
Literally.
bit less inventory or business out there,
Yes.
but it's all for us because we have
Right.
absolutely zero competition.
Right.
Yes.
And now people are seeing that and they're like, man,
Yes.
how do these guys stay alive?
Right.
Like we're all dead and these
Very
guys are
true.
alive.
Yes.
We have never stopped our top
Right.
performers that every time
Yes.
it's a minimum $10,000
Yes.
that we have every
Right.
month.
Every
we
month.
never stopped any of our
Mhm.
our company
Yes.
events.
Yes.
We haven't stopped anything.
Mhm.
We keep going and people are
Right.
like, these guys are legit.
Yeah.
TMG has been up and running for 10 years,
Right.
man.
Yeah.
Because remember, in the beginning, everybody thinks, oh, you're going to lose your Ferrari right
Right.
away.
Of course.
Oh, it's not going to last.
Yes.
Oh, you know what? Something's fishy. This, that,
Yes.
taxes, compliance, Department of Real Estate. And they throw everything at you that
course.
they can.
Right.
And then, boom, you're still alive. So now people are it's very evident
Yes.
that we're blowing up.
You know
Like,
what-
it's very evident.
You
Yes,
know what's
yes.
interesting? You brought up the whole fact about somebody losing the Ferrari. Somebody sent us a DM, I think 2.5 years ago when we barely got the Ferrari. We posted content and they said, oh, these guys will lose the Ferrari in a year.
Yeah.
We've had a Ferrari for 2.5 years and we haven't lost it. So it's
Yes.
kind of bam.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we just rewrapped it. So
And
we
we
didn't
rewrapped it.
We didn't retract
And
it at
guys,
all.
look, if you need to sell your
Yes.
Ferrari,
Yes.
or if you need to sell whatever car you have,
Yes.
because you need to survive,
Right.
good,
Of
you know,
course,
do it.
of
And
course.
and I have high respect for you because
Right.
you are surviving and you're doing it.
Yes.
But don't be a two-faced or
Right.
Yeah.
don't contradict yourself.
Yes.
Now you lost it, and instead of saying that, you know what, I lost the car because I needed to survive, which is
Yes.
respectful.
Right.
Now you're bashing people that still have it, and you're
Yes.
saying it's not about Ferraris anymore. It's more
Right.
about other stuff. Like
Yes.
don't lie, because
It's sad.
if you had a lot of money,
yeah.
then you wouldn't need to give up your
Yes,
Ferrari.
I've been seeing coaches who had, let's just say, Bentleys. I don't know, and they're over here telling, now they're coaching people because maybe they lost their car. They're telling
Right.
their people they're coaching, oh, well, now it's not all about the cars. Now it's not all about the flashy and the shiny thing.
They gave up.
And they gave up on themselves, and now they're trying to tell their people they're coaching to not shoot for the
Yeah.
stars and
Right,
not have the
right.
nice things in life and not be able to take care of yourself and go to a nice restaurant or
Yeah.
have that nice car.
So
Now
true.
they're coaching their people to say, oh, it's not all about the cars. It's not all about the flashy
Toxic
things.
environment.
It's so toxic. And you know what's even more sad? Those people who are now spreading that information online, they've never even had it. So it's like, first of all, you're listening to a coach that are telling you not to shoot for the stars, and now you're trying to spread that word to not go shoot for the stars. It's just, again, it goes back to discounting yourself, and how
Yeah.
could you do that to yourself, especially if you're young and you're being mentored by these people who maybe had a Ferrari, a Bentley, or whatever kind of car it is. If they don't have it anymore and they're telling you not to go and shoot for the stars, then I think you might be being coached by the wrong individuals. That's all I have to
Very
say,
true.
but...
And that's not something you want to teach to people under you or your kids. You don't want to be that example. And remember that when people are contracting, it's the
Yes.
biggest opportunity to expand, because you
is.
have absolutely zero competition.
Exactly.
So like, the answer is always going to be make more money.
Yes.
If you make more money,
Right.
you don't have to worry about that. So
Right.
instead of focusing on, man, I got to cut here, why not just make more money, close a few more deals? Because there are deals right now.
Yes.
Like you said, John has 13 escrows.
Yes.
He was top producer last
Right.
month, and we got a lot of top producers in the company.
Yes.
And the answer is make more money.
Right.
When this whole when mortgage and real estate slowed down quite a
Yes.
bit because of the rates, because of
Right.
property values and all that.
Yes.
What did I do? Instead of being like, let's cut cost, I said, how can I do more of other things?
Yes.
How can I do more lives? How can I do
Yes.
more masterminds? How can
Yes.
I add more revenue in other
Right.
ways?
Yes.
How can I keep growing?
Yes.
Not start downsizing.
Right.
Not start cutting things. Like you
Yes.
don't do that. One thing that one of my life principles
Yes.
is I'm never gonna downgrade. Never. I can't downgrade. Once you fly private, you never go back to commercial. And tell me, when we're on the private jet,
Yes.
50,000 feet up in the air, isn't it worth it? Don't we come up with better ideas?
It's the best
The
life
Champagne
ever.
tastes better.
We
The
mastermind up there
champagne
and
tastes
everything.
better. The ideas are better. We've come up with businesses in the sky in those jets. You've come up with Conquer Escrow, the name, just sitting right there in the kitchen in the
Yeah.
jet with the best champagne. So it's always better. You know what I mean?
You should pop it. You know how to pop it?
Yeah, let me
Yeah,
pop
Go,
it.
go,
pop
go
it.
pop it. And let me add to that really quick to celebrate.
We need to celebrate everyone.
When you have a billionaire,
Yes.
because you guys have billionaire friends too,
Yes.
Yeah.
mutual ones that we have.
Yes. Mutual billionaire friends.
Doesn't it feel good to be on the same level of conversation when a billionaire tells you, "Oh, I flew private from Florida to I just came and I flew," and they're obviously they fly private because they're billionaires, but
Yes.
you understand how that feels, and you can
Right.
come back to them and be like, "Oh yeah, what is it? A Falcon 2000 or is it a G5? Is it a and you know the planes and,
Yeah.
you know what they're talking about, but that is invaluable. There's no value that you can give that because it's an experience that makes you think bigger.
No,
And
I
you never
agree.
you never after that. Like I know you guys, it opened your eyes to even there's more I can be, and I think that's
Yes.
one of the biggest things that I feel, and I'm very proud that I have done for you guys.
Yes.
Is that I opened your eyes that
did.
Eli and Mike can be bigger.
Yes.
Like you
right.
guys can reach more.
Yes.
You guys can do more. You guys are
Yes.
not limited.
Definitely.
I agree.
And anytime we do try to limit ourselves, and thank you for this, you always catch us and you always will let us know and you always, will say, hey, you guys get it together. Hey, is this an excuse? Or hey, like, what could we do to be better? You never let us slip. And,
Exactly.
being, we're a partnership, you would think like we wouldn't let each other slip. But sometimes, even in partnerships, you slip a little bit. There's a lot going on. But again, if you have that strong circle, you have those 5 strong people around you, those people will not let you slip. Like you, Mr. Albert,
Yeah.
you do not let it slip for anything. And,
Yeah.
we are honored to have that. So I'm going to pop
So
this
pop that
bottle.
champagne.
But just don't hit us.
Right? Just
Hit
don't
it up
hit
there.
you. So let's go.
Don't point it towards me. Hey, all right, yay!
Oh,
Oh shit!
All good, all good.
All right,
Cheers. Thank you.
it's all good. It's all good.
Sorry.
It's
got
okay.
a little wet. Got a little wet. But yes, sorry about
Go
that.
ahead and
Technical
pour
difficulties.
yourself
I'll pour
in,
us a little
Albert's
drink.
So I want to ask you another question. So a lot of people, me and Jared, one of our
Yeah.
top producing agents, we went on a live yesterday and we brought up one of the biggest things is people are scared to buy real estate because they're worried about the interest rates.
Yeah.
Or they're worried about the economy dropping values soon. So our mindset, and I want to get your opinion on it, is there's a ton of investors right now, people even outside of the country. They're
Mhm.
coming in and with big pockets, and they're coming in and buying bulk real estate.
Yeah.
They want to scoop it all up. So what would you tell people that are scared to buy if investors who know the market, they spend billions of dollars in buying real estate and they're doing it right now, what would you tell buyers what they should be doing?
Well, one thing about real estate is that real estate you buy and hold. So you buy and hold. Cheers, Mike. Cheers, Eli.
I'll cheers with you guys. Hey,
Oh, you missed me. You missed me.
you missed it. Hold on. There it goes. Cheers.
So real estate you buy and hold. And I'll tell you one of my biggest maybe not a mistake, but regrets in life is having to sell all my real estate.
Oh, that's right. I remember. you said that.
But the thing that saved my butt
Yes.
was having real estate.
Yes.
Mhm.
Because when you buy real estate, yeah, it will go down 20% every recession, but it's going to go back up to double what you bought it for.
Right.
Right.
After 5 years, 10 years.
Yes.
So real estate always goes up. Plus, it has a lot of benefits.
Mhm.
You get appreciation, you get tax benefits, you get monthly income.
Mhm.
If you're renting it,
Yes.
if you have multi units,
Right.
you could leverage. Like if you buy stocks,
Right.
you have to buy 100% of the stock.
Mm.
You can't put 20% down and buy a stock.
Mm, that
Mhm.
makes
Real estate, you
sense.
could leverage. You could put
Wow.
20%, and then also the fifth one, principal reduction. Every month you're reducing your mortgage,
Mhm.
your principal.
Mhm.
So those are 5 benefits that you get from real estate. And if you go back 100 years,
Yes.
real estate it has never gone down.
Very true.
It drops
Absolutely.
20% when there's a
Yes.
correction, but then it
Yes.
continues to go up again. So it's
Mhm.
always
Right.
going like this and like that and
Mhm.
like that. So if you could accumulate as much real estate as you can, you're
Yes.
never gonna lose. Like it's never happened ever, ever, ever. And if you're human and you're watching this, which I hope everybody here is a human,
No bots.
then
Right.
then
AI.
you're always gonna need a place to live, no matter what.
Yes.
I don't think in the next 10 years we're gonna live in outer space or live in the skies.
Right.
Not yet.
Right.
So at least for the next plenty of years,
Yes.
we're gonna need a real estate. I mean, I would say for the next 50 years at
Yes.
least, we're gonna still live in houses.
Absolutely.
So it's not gonna go anywhere at least for your
Right.
lifetime.
Yes.
If you're watching this.
Yes.
So real
Yeah.
estate is the safest and best investment you could make, no matter what time it is. Even if you get a bad deal
Mhm.
and you keep it for 5 years,
Right.
you will win.
Yes.
Yep.
So it's the best investment. Now me,
Yes.
I started buying real estate and we
Mhm.
got we accumulated 18 properties.
Amazing.
And then we had to sell all of them
Mhm.
to keep our businesses alive. And that's the price we had to pay. But if I didn't have to do it, I would have a lot of millions right there right now in
Yes,
equity.
yes.
A lot of them.
Right.
But I sold them and
Mm.
and my net that I got out of it was
Right.
over 2 million.
Right.
So those 2 million saved me in the beginning stage when I started a business, because that's another
Yes.
thing. Everybody wants to start a business and everybody wants to be an entrepreneur.
Right.
But you're not ready for it. That's a
Right.
very special skill. And
It
and,
is.
and what I like is for people to understand that some people are intrapreneurs and some people are entrepreneurs. And it's almost the same. The only difference is that the entrepreneur put the money down, funded the business, went through all the first years of hell, and got a business up and running. And then entrepreneurs joined the company, and then everybody became like an entrepreneur as a whole.
Yes.
And then they started building the company from
Right.
there.
Yes.
But everybody wants to go and reinvent the wheel and become an entrepreneur, and not everybody is fit to be
Right.
an entrepreneur, because
Yes.
if you don't have millions and millions of dollars, which I
Mhm.
didn't have, but I had
Right.
properties
Right.
that saved me,
Yes.
that's what allowed me to continue to grow.
Love
Because
that.
if you don't have a lot of reserves and cash,
Yes.
you're gonna go out of business in the first 5 years. That's what
Correct.
happens all the time. Businesses
Right.
go out of business in the first 5 years because they
Yes.
don't have the funds to
Mhm.
continue to grow the company, because
Yes.
you'll get a lot of surprises along the way.
Mhm.
And if Patrick,
Yes.
if me,
Yes.
if us, we were barely able to do it,
Mhm.
imagine these people that have no clue that are going out there and trying to do their own thing.
So
Right.
true.
Like they're gonna go through hell, and,
Right.
and they're gonna die.
No,
You know- you know
yeah,
what's-
and even before you asked that, you know, you took a high risk, which came a
Mhm.
high reward.
Right.
You know, you sold those 18 properties, and you know what it would create. And look at where you're at today. You know, you're wearing white watches that are just worth a lot of money. And you know, me and Eli, you know, when it comes to the subject of real estate, we also were in a tight situation where we only had one property, you know, back in the day.
Yeah.
And this was a property that we had built from the floor up. It was our family home. Our children lived in it ever since they were born, and we had to sell that as well.
Yeah.
We had to sell it to get the equity, which in turn saved our company.
It
And then
did.
now look at where
Yeah.
we're at today. But
Yeah.
we had to have that high risk, high reward situation happen to us.
Exactly.
And I know that's what you did to save your company.
Yeah.
So, you know, it
And-
takes a lot.
And also, people don't realize that TMG has been up
Mhm.
and running for 10 years, a decade.
Amazing.
Ambiance Realty has been up and
Yes.
running for 8 years.
Yes, yes.
Driven Enterprise has been up and running for 7.
Amazing.
Yeah.
We're going on Driven 7.
Yes.
It's actually
And-
it's insane.
And Conquer Escrow, new company.
Yes.
It's been up and running for a year and 3 months now.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
And
already
and
amazing.
and people don't realize, like, this space,
Yes.
we spend over $1 million remodeling the whole
Yes.
floor.
Yes.
And we've been paying here a year and a half,
Right.
$100,000 a month.
Yeah.
just for our space here, for
Yeah.
the entire
Space.
floor.
Yes.
So you guys can do the math,
Mhm.
and we are like, success is very evident and transparent. You could see who really is doing well and who is not.
Yes.
You could see it in their face, their body
Right.
language, their eyes, their look, the way they carry themselves, the way they speak with their head up, the way they stand, the way they sit. You can tell who's doing good and who's
That's
not
right.
doing good.
Right.
And it's very evident that we are blowing up.
And you know,
Yes.
you know what? I want to tell you guys that are watching this. Think about this. Like Albert brought up the whole fact about buying real estate. We own real estate. We own real estate again. We own 3-4 properties.
Yes.
You own real estate as well. The most important fact is think about this: stocks, crypto, it can become $0, but real estate never is zero. You cannot buy real estate today and ever worry about the fact that it's going to depreciate
Right.
so much that it'll be worth zero.
Yes.
There is no such thing. So buying right now, like all these other investors that are buying real estate, they're capitalizing because you're sleeping behind the wheel saying, oh, it's not the right time to buy. When in reality, if they're buying, you should be buying right now,
Yes.
getting your money together, doing your FHAs, doing your conventional mortgages, doing all these unique loans like we did.
Yes.
And look at us, we're sitting on
Yes.
stage because we are investing from the money we put in real estate.
Yeah.
And we used it, like you said, oh,
Yeah.
I saved my business. Well, look at you now. You have much more money, a bigger successful
Right.
business. We're branding our company. We're
Mhm.
doing so many different things and scaling with what we did with real estate.
And
if-
you don't have to be in real estate. You don't have to be in loans.
Mhm.
Your company doesn't have to be real estate or loans or escrow. Maybe you're into doing eyelashes. Maybe you have a pet grooming service. Whatever you have, it, whatever your business is, what can ultimately get you to grow and be the best of the best.
Mhm.
It truly could be the avenue of real estate.
And
It
those
really
are the
is.
those are the shoes
Oh
I
my-
wear at the first Driven.
The
yeah, I'm
OGs.
wearing the OG Albert Preciado.
Yeah, I wear those
Louis
at Driven
Vuitton.
1.
Show
At
me-
Driven
can-
1.
These
Are
were
you high?
Yeah.
these were shown on Driven 1. Sorry, I don't know.
Driven
how to
1.
do- And literally, they bring me so much luck. So like literally, ever
I'm gonna
since
buy
I wore
those shoes back from you for
Right,
$1 million.
they're not for sale. They're,
They're not for sale. I
So
think you
so,
signed it.
so guys, before we close up, I
Yes.
wanna also I wanna give one advice to everybody that's watching this,
Yes,
to your
please.
audience. If you can take right now, make a move, buy your first property,
Mhm.
FHA. This anybody can do. So it doesn't matter if you're getting started, if you're broke. Even broke people can buy a property FHA.
Right.
So if you're making 50K a year, if you're making 40K a year, go buy your first property somewhere FHA. If you can't afford where you live,
Right.
you can go 60 miles out or more or work from home if your company lets you work from home. A lot of people now work from home. So you could go buy a property, go 60 miles away from where you live, and it's going to be a lot more affordable
Mhm.
than if you live in a big city. So if you live in LA, maybe you could go to Palmdale, somewhere that's going to be more affordable, and you'll qualify. And what I would do is buy a single family, buy a tiny little property, buy it FHA. You only need 3.5% down. It's very easy to qualify for that. Hold this property, stay there, keep it for 5 years, and you're going to build a fortune without having to do any. It's going to be like a little hobby. You're going to live there. You got to pay rent anyways. And if you could buy units, even better, because now you could rent one of the other units like we did, and then have your girlfriend or your boyfriend buy another FHA property before you guys get married, and you live in one, your partner on another one, and then that's what me and Sil did, and we got I got a 3-unit property, she got a 4-unit property,
Right.
and then that's how we started. And then later on, property goes up, you refinance, you borrow money, you don't pay taxes on when you borrow money, so you could cash out, get $100,000 out, or whatever. You don't pay taxes because it's borrowed money. Then you use that money to put as a down payment, and you buy another one, and you buy another one,
Mhm.
and you buy another one, and you buy another one. And that's a very easy way to become a multi-millionaire. One of our girls, Patty, she bought a house, sold it, bought another one, created like $2 million of equity
Yes.
just by moving money around, refinancing, buying a property.
That's right.
And real estate is the best way to create wealth, and also real estate is not going anywhere. So if you're
That's right.
thinking about it, like we have two of the same people talk shit about real estate and mortgage
Yes.
because they don't know any better. But
Right.
there is no safer business to be in
Mm-hmm.
than real estate and mortgage,
That's
because
right.
everybody's going to need a loan for the most part. Not
Yes.
every smart people don't buy cash. Smart people
They get loans.
they
yeah.
get loans.
Yes.
The wealthiest
Yes.
people. Bobby doesn't pay cash for his
Yes.
properties.
Right.
Bobby and Sophia, they put a down payment.
Right.
Yeah.
And start with real estate, create your wealth, and then in 5 years, 10 years, you're going to be a multimillionaire just by owning some real estate as you work your job or run your business doing what you do.
Absolutely. So like what Albert said, listen to what we're all saying, all three of us, Eli, Mike, and Albert. You guys need to listen to what's happening here. The word is buy some real estate. It is the time. You're not marrying the interest rate, guys. You're only marrying the property. You will divorce that rate.
Yes.
You will refinance in 6 months. So do
Right.
not let that wear you down. Real estate where the money is at. So I want to appreciate everybody for being here today. We have at the Albert Preciado. They can find
Yeah.
you on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean everybody knows them.
Just
but, you know,
Google my name, Albert Preciado.
Yeah, just Google him.
But you know, it's an honor to have you here today. And honestly, thank you guys for watching. You're going to see our
Yes.
podcast posting on Sunday at 5 p.m. And you'll see our content on Instagram.
Yes.
So
And 4 years ago, we did that podcast. Was it 4 years ago?
Yes.
That was about
4
4 years
years
ago.
from today,
Yes.
we are going to be mega wealthy. And we're going to look back and we're going to be like, man, I can't believe you
Yes.
guys had that little office, $100,000 a month on the Sunset Plaza, what is it? Sunset Towers.
Sunset Towers, yeah.
And you're going to be like, I can't believe we flew in that little jet,
Yeah.
the little Gulfstream.
Yes. I
And
see
we're going to
it.
look back and we're going to be like,
Yes.
I can't believe how much you've grown. Because look,
Wow.
Yeah.
I can't wait to
one
watch
quick
this.
thing. Most people,
Yes.
they overestimate
Yes.
what they're going to accomplish in the next 12 months.
Mhm.
But they underestimate how much they did in the last 5 years.
Wow.
Because if you look back 5 years ago,
Yes. Wow.
you're gonna look back and you guys were probably broke
Yes.
5 years
Yes.
ago.
we
were
were.
actually.
We were
And,
broke.
and now look at the difference.
Yes.
So most people want to do too much so quick,
Yes.
but then you underestimate how much you've done in the last 5 years. So if
Wow.
I look 5 years ago, I was broke too,
Yeah. Yeah.
on a different level, but I was broke.
Right.
Yeah.
Was I making maybe, I don't know, 3-4 million a year? Maybe, but I was
Yes.
spending all of that
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
because I was growing the company.
Right.
So people want to start a company, but they don't know why they want to start a company. If you start a company, you got to build a company to sell it,
Yes.
because one day you want to sell the
Mhm.
company.
Right.
But if
Right.
you're just starting a company because you
Mhm.
think you're going to make more money, no, you're going to be negative because it takes a lot
So
to
much.
pay all the expenses that you don't think
Yes.
about, compliance,
Right.
insurances. There's so
Yes.
much more.
Mhm.
So focus on your next 5 years, because your next 5 years, you're going to be in the place where you're not even going to recognize where you were today, but you got to be in the right circle. Because if you're
Yes.
one of those people that left and now you're the smartest one in your circle or in your company, you're going to get dumber and you're going to sink because everybody else there is less smart than you.
Mhm.
That's right.
So you got to put yourself where you're with the smarter people, that everybody has a growth mindset where everybody is getting better, everybody is growing together, and you have the right resources, relationships, where you're going to get that value to be able to execute on your plan.
There you guys.
Amazing.
There you
Love
heard it,
it.
guys. So seriously, follow at the Albert Preciado. He is a very wise guy. Follow us. I mean, you guys are already following us, but anyways, watch us on the YouTube page at 5 p.m. on Sundays. So appreciate
And
you guys.
one more cheers to all
One
of our
more cheers.
success.
Yeah, cheers,
Let's
guys.
go.
Thank you.
Cheers,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Albert.
Cheers.
Yes.
Billions
To billions.
in the
Let's
making.
go.
Billions in the making.